Hi, welcome to part 4 of creating the ultimate ukulele strum pattern here on Webcam Sessions. If you haven't seen the other episodes, please check out the link down below. You'll see each one of them where we've talked about a new technique in each episode. And while this week we're going to start a new technique, at the end we're going to be making use of all 4 techniques to create an ultimate pattern. So be sure to check out those videos if you haven't already. Today though, we're going to talk about ghost note strumming, which is actually my favorite technique on the ukulele. Now you can use it with low G or high G, but I think it sounds best with high G. And the reason is because the point of ghost note strumming is to create a little bit of a drone note. And when it's done with a low G, sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming in terms of the sound, but you be the judge. If you're playing with low G, see how you like it. So the way that we're going to start this technique is we're going to talk just very briefly about strumming. We have downs and ups, right? We're always moving our hand down and up as we're making these strums. But the problem is right now we have striking the strings or missing the strings, in addition to some of the techniques we've worked on like chunking and the sweeps and accents. But essentially we have this either on or off relationship where we are either striking the strings or we're missing the strings as we move. What a ghost note is designed to do is to give your down strums the opportunity to be something more in between. If you think of a down strum striking the strings as black and you think of missing the strings as white, this is something more gray. To add more depth. And the way that we do the technique is fairly straightforward. We're going to move our hand downward as if we're doing a down strum, but instead of missing the strings or striking the strings with our index finger, we're going to take our thumb on our playing hand and we're going to strike the G string right about where the fretboard and the body meet, and we're going to exclusively play that string as we make a downward motion. Now the big trick to this is having that thumb come in and actually make a little bit of contact with the ukulele itself. And as it's following through the down motion, instead of going straight down, which will kind of lead it to go over all 4 strings, we have it come just a hair outward so that it will only strike that G string. Now again, this is still a down motion as I'm making this. You'll notice that the hand is still moving down as if I were missing the strings or as if I were doing a downstroke, only now it's that ghost strum, just the thumb striking the string. Now, it seems very basic and it sounds kind of boring because it is. It's really when it's done quickly and done in succession is when it really can create a very cool sound. So for instance, let's say that we're strumming something just like a down, down, up pattern, right? Which is a pretty straightforward one. It sounds something like this. And I'm just using all open on my ukulele right now as I'm playing this. Now that's a pretty boring pattern. Well, let's say that we want to have more space in it. So I'm going to do a miss. I'm going to go down, up, where I'm actually missing twice. Down, miss, miss, up. Down, miss, miss, up. Down, and that's really not very good either, right? Because now it's too sparse. So this is where the ghost note can become magical. If I do down and then the miss, followed by a ghost note, followed by up. So it's down, miss, ghost up, down, miss, ghost up, down, ghost up, down, ghost up. It creates this sort of gray character that really I think sounds great. So still using open strings, nice and slow, this would sound something like this. Down, miss, ghost up, down, miss, ghost up, down, miss, ghost up, down, miss, ghost up. You hear that ghost note just adds a little bit more texture and depth. Now something that's important is the ghost note is just the thumb, but all the other strums are still using the index finger, just like what we talked about in our first lesson and other strumming lessons that we've done here on Webcam Sessions. It's only the ghost note that's using that thumb for right now. So the ghost note, again, really cool technique, but where it really shines is when you do it very quickly and you do sort of rapid succession of ghost notes and normal strumming. And the course that I did here on Ukulele Underground has a whole module called Ghost Note Strumming, and it goes into detail of using it as 16th notes, so really fast strum patterns. And that's how those really great, solo ukulele players get so much sound when they're strumming. Players like Calais and Jake and Aldrine and Chris Fujigami and all these awesome players, when they're doing some crazy strum pattern, it usually is involving ghost notes to create that sound. One of the more iconic ones being the all ghost notes that are being used there. It's just sequences of down strums, up strums, missing strums, and ghost notes. And that's how that sound is created. So if you want more information on that, please do check out the course I did with them. We work on a couple example patterns that are similar to that. But what we want to do now with the ghost note is we want to put it into the ultimate ukulele strum. And we're going to use each and every single one of the techniques that we've worked on so far. So the pattern is going to look something like this. And what this is a down strum with an accent, followed by a miss, followed by a sweep or roll or whatever you want to call it, followed by an up strum, followed by a ghost note, because normally we have a miss there. So instead of doing a miss, we're going to do the ghost note so it just gives a little bit more sound, followed by an up strum, followed by a chunk, and then an up. So we have down, miss, sweep, up, chunk, ghost, up, chunk, up. I don't have it in front of me, so I'm going by memory. But here's what it sounds like, right? And this is a sweet, sweet pattern. Let's go ahead and use a sweet chord to go with it. Let's do F add 9, just our index finger here on the first fret of the E string. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to do our accented down strum. We're going to miss, curl our fingers in ready for a sweep, then up, then a ghost note, and an up, then a chunk, and an up. Again, so down, miss, sweep, up, ghost, up, chunk, up. Down, miss, sweep, up, ghost, up, chunk, up. Down, miss, sweep, up, ghost, up, chunk, up. Great, right? It uses all 4 of these techniques to create a pattern that is really complicated and hard, but has a huge amount of sound to it. Again, it's going to take a lot of practice to get comfortable weaving all of these different techniques in together, but this pattern takes our down, down, up, and turns it into something much more massive and much more fun to play. Now, you can rearrange these techniques in any way you want, which is what makes this such a fun way to practice different patterns and rhythms and, integrating these techniques in different ways. Again, that course that I mentioned before that I did with Ukulele Underground, the not so basic one uses a lot of these techniques with example patterns and different things that you can play along with. So again, check that out if you haven't already. But there you have it. That is the ultimate ukulele strumming pattern. And I like using it anytime that you want to use your down, down, up, down, up. It's just a little bit more monstrous, but it sounds oh so good. So be sure to leave a comment down below if you have any questions with this pattern, or maybe you have a variation to it that you like to play. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys next week on another episode of Webcam Sessions.